Hi guys, Jackie Backman from ESA, the Emotional Intelligence Soft Skills Academy. I promised you guys this 3-video series, the precursor to the ultimate sales course coming up in Malta, Europe this October. If you haven't registered, you might want to register now. If there's still seats available, find out. There'll be details for you after this video. You can do that. This particular mistake, because I did 3 mistakes, there's probably about 15 we're going to go over in the workshop, but this particular mistake that I'm going to teach you how to avoid there is when we're cold call, not just cold calling, it's when we have an interaction with a potential client and not having a specified outcome. And let me clarify this one a little bit because it's not as cut and dry or clear right off the bat. So what I mean by this one is when we don't have a specified purpose for the interaction means we haven't taken a moment to clearly define for ourselves what it is we're looking to achieve, excuse me, in that particular interaction with that client. So a good example, let me use the cold calling. It must have been on my mind already. So if you're out cold calling, for those of you that might not be familiar with what the term cold calling means, that means calling somebody and you have no idea whether or not they're even using your services potentially. I'd like to think that you even have a little more that you've qualified the leads a little bit more, but sometimes that's the way it works, and you got to do complete cold calls. So having a cold call is part of sales, and being able to determine if the person on the other end is a potential client for you is probably the best objective to have. And actually, it's a starting place, because determining whether or not you have something for that client is the first step. If you're going to have a phone call and you haven't even gotten off the phone call knowing that, then you want to look at how you're doing things a little bit better. More often than not, it used to happen with me all the time. I mean, I've been doing sales for over 30 years, and it used to happen to me all the time. And then I've noticed with lots of sales teams that I've trained, lots of salespeople, even my own teams getting caught in this trap. They're going out there, they're calling, they're wanting to introduce the company, introduce themselves and the services that we offer, yet they haven't set up a reasonable expectation or a purpose outcome that they're looking for in the call. So the first thing you always want to do is you want to make sure that you want to find out whether or not they have a need for your service. If they don't have a need for your service, thank them for your time and move on. I'm not talking about getting blown off. I'm not talking about getting shoved aside. I'm talking about, no, we just don't actually invest in our employees as far as development and training goes. So have you ever considered investing in training and getting your employees so that you can maximize their potential and maximize their skill set? No, we don't have employees. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for your time today. I hope sometime we can meet in the future. Maybe we can be of service. Other than that, have a great day. That's possibly how an interaction can sound, but you have to know what the outcome is. If you're saying, okay, step 1 is to identify if there's a need. Step 2 is to what? Close the sale? No, you've never met them. Is it possible you could close a sale? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? No. Unless they've had, there's a rule about 7 touches and so on, that they have to have 7 touches. But unless they've had some sort of interaction or some sort of knowledge, or they've heard of the company or heard of the person or something, the likelihood of closing them on the first go is slim to none. So set your objective clearly. Set the objective going into the call is to be able to do another call, another follow-up, and identify whether or not there's an interest in what you have and what services you're offering. So, third mistake that salespeople make more often than not is getting into an interaction and having absolutely no purpose or agenda on how they want that to end up. And more often than not, it's not going to end up pretty. My name is Jackie Backman. We've got the ultimate sales course for those of you that have experience in sales, or for the really, really, really green guys that are just starting out. This is going to be amazing for you. If you're the guy that really doesn't want to do sales and really doesn't like your job, or if you happen to be a sales manager now thinking about sending that guy, don't send that guy or that gal. This is for the people that really want to do well, have a lot of respect for themselves and for the trade. I look forward to seeing you in October. Other than that, I gotta go. Here's to your skills. See you soon.